There I can maybe reveal a secret that it did not take anything to convince them. The first idea came up in a dinner I shared with Casey Wasserman on the occasion of the Athletics World Championships in Eugene last year. And there Casey saw already the great potential and was highlighting it himself. So there was not much work to do, if any. For the IOC, it means what I said before, that it's a great opportunity to engage with a new athlete and a fan community, not only, but in particular, of course, also in India, but across the world. We see the growing popularity of cricket, and in particular the T20 format. Now the World Cup, a huge success already. So we are looking forward to welcome the world's best players in cricket to perform in US in 28, where they're already this year. I think it was in July or it was in summer. We had a very successful cricket tournament in Dallas, Texas. And we have also, a growing Indian community in the United States, so that it is very attractive for LA, and it's very attractive for the Olympic movement.
As your second question, I can tell you already now that TV rights for India have not yet been signed for the period beyond Paris 2024.
And I think this is a win-win situation. The Olympic Games will give cricket a global stage and the opportunity to grow beyond the traditional cricket countries and regions. And for the Olympic movement, it's the opportunity to engage with fan and athlete community, to which so far we did have very little or even no access. And we see, this move also very much reflected here in how one can enrich the other. We see it in India, where you see the growing Olympic spirit, where you see a number of Olympic sports gaining strength and becoming popular, and cricket still being the number one sport and the most popular sport. Well, thank you very much. It was indeed that the members of the IOC Executive Board, we expressed our very strong feelings at the very beginning when we came together here, already at our working dinner on the eve of the Executive Board meeting, and expressed our deepest sympathy with the innocent victims of this terrible violence. And it continued then at the very beginning of our meetings, then yesterday morning. And we are and have been in contact on the day these incidents and this terrible violence started, with in Istanbul with the President and the Secretary General of the Israeli NOC, and there have been contacts there also with private friends and private friends over all these days. And now the president of the Israeli NOC is here in Mumbai and stands for election as a IOC member after during the last couple of days she has always kept us informed about her activities to support in particular the Olympic community in Israel. Thank you for the question. There is no deadline. The decision says clearly until further notice, so we will now keep monitoring the different developments. And there is no time pressure because what we also say is that we reserve the right to invite there by ourselves individual neutral athletes with a Russian passport, and this means that there the ROC will have no role to play. This will be direct invitations which we will manage then with the international federations and if needed, then with the respective national federations, and also in this way to make it clear that there is no representation of Russia or the Russian Olympic Committee by these athletes, that there are strictly individual neutral athletes. We have not suspended the athletes with a Russian passport because they have not incorporated this for Ukrainian regions in the National Olympic Committee. This has been done by the National Olympic Committee, and there we are following our principle, which we have always been following, that we do not punish or sanction athletes for acts of their officials or of their government, but that our task is to protect the athletes and to protect the rights of the athletes. With regard to the qualification, the same recommendation applies to all international federations. The qualification systems in the federations are different, as they have always been. There is no change in this. And we have seen in a number of world championships and qualification competitions that they went pretty smoothly, that there were no kind of demonstrations or objections, and that in the contrary the athletes appreciated to be able to compete against the best athletes of the world. And there I can ask Mr. McConnell to give you a little bit more of the background because he and his team are following each of these events and these qualifications very closely. First of all, what we always have to have in mind is the position of the IOC members. There are not the representatives of Russia in the IOC. They are the representatives of the IOC in Russia. And in order to ensure the equal treatment there between officials and athletes, we have nevertheless submitted these IOC members in Russia to an assessment by the IOC Ethics Commission, and there the understanding of the IOC Ethics Commission is that neither Mrs. Inbayeva nor Mr. Tarpichev had contractual links with the Russian military or security agencies, nor supported the invasion or the war in Ukraine. Okay. Quite frankly, I don't have an idea what is outstanding there. In fact, we were facing a situation already in the last couple of months or in the last year that payments which were due could not be made because of the sanctions that are imposed on the payment systems. So I'm not aware there how much money has been accumulated by then. And with regard to athletes, there we are there to protect the athletes and not to sanction or punish the athletes for their officials or for their government. If there are such cases, of course, we will do our best to keep supporting the athletes directly. But not through their National Olympic Committee as it usually happens, but not through a suspended National Olympic Committee, of course.